Did you guys hear about what happened? So this streamer who I have never heard of, who goes by the name Mangzero, got into some pretty big trouble this week. I'm kind of worried about sharing the entire clip on here because it may be considered explicit content, so I'll just share the lead up. So it's not a surprise what happened afterwards, and he is now facing the consequences of his behavior while he was under the influence. He actually put out a statement the other day as well. If I can find it. Here it is. Couldn't sleep. Feel like I let so many people down. Talked to a few friends and just realized I have a problem. Everyone has coddled me for so long and kinda looked the other way when it came to my drinking. Don't want anyone to feel bad for me. Defend me. Sorry to everyone I've let down or hurt. I know it just looks like I'm trying to save face, but I genuinely feel so awful about it. All I've done is reflect on my life and realized I'm a broken human. I will try and redeem myself over time, as I always do. Gonna stop drinking immediately and get it together. Sorry that I'm a fuck up, but I will and can be better. The issue with alcoholics is that their brains become rewired to accept a state of drunkenness as their default instead of sobriety. So it becomes exceptionally difficult for the people around them to convince them that their current way of living will only result in risk-abundant behavior and self-sabotage. This is obviously not an excuse at all for what he did, but understanding the foundation for why alcohol is destructive within our society is important. Additionally, Mangzero was also significantly associated with Ludwig, who also had something to say about what happened. If I can find it.
So I feel really bad about that. And, I reached out to anyone who I felt might have felt uncomfortable and talked to them. But also, and I already told Mango this, I'm no longer inviting Mango to Mogul Moves events. Because, it's a privilege to go to an event, man. Like, the whole point of an event is, it's a fun thing to do, have a good-ass time. And if somebody appearing jeopardizes somebody else having a good time, that just can't be a thing. Now, I see a lot of dialogue on, broader implications. I'm only worried about my team, my events, you know what I'm saying? I don't speak for the Melee community. I'm not championing any other action.
So Ludwig makes a really good point here. Ultimately, if he is aware that two people are at enmity with one another and he invites them both to a function, then he would share responsibility for any chaos that might occur at that particular function or event. So credit to Ludwig and his team for being responsible with his brand and the individuals who expressed how uncomfortable they were. It was also brought to my attention that an affiliate organization, Cloud9, also put out a statement regarding Mangzero's behavior. If I can find it. We are aware of the recent incident involving Joseph Mang0 Marquez and fully acknowledge the concerns raised by our community and partners. Following an internal evaluation, we have made the decision to release Mang0 from Cloud9, regardless of tenure or accomplishments. The behavior demonstrated is entirely unacceptable and directly conflicts with our organization's core values. We maintain a zero-tolerance stance regarding harassment or any other form of inappropriate conduct. Our primary focus remains fostering a respectful, inclusive, and safe environment for everyone associated with Cloud9. We will continue to collaborate closely with our talent, partners, and community to uphold and reinforce these standards. We wish Mang0 the best in his future endeavors. And I think this was to be expected. While the behavior wasn't illegal, it was antisocial, and this sort of response was to be expected. A lot of people will inevitably blame the alcohol, but accountability doesn't disappear just because alcohol is involved, you know? People are prosecuted for DUIs all the time, even if they weren't involved in a collision. Let's read some of the replies. I think what has made this blow up even more is that there appear to be a certain group of people making excuses for this behavior. And no, I personally do not think it is race-related. Ew, these replies are really gross. But look at this tweet, for example. He's not sexually harassing. That's just Mang0 being Mang0. And this is exactly what I meant earlier about this being the default state for alcoholics. Unfortunately, most do not realize until too late that this acceptance and lack of self-awareness is what will ultimately destroy their lives. And then this. You don't understand Mang0. He is a man who chooses to do what he wants and doesn't care about social norms or the like. He's just him. And that larger-than-life personality is what draws people to him. This is a completely gross excuse for lack of decorum and civility within a social function. It's crazy to me that people are able to generate these cult-like followers who will excuse abhorrent behavior no matter what. I think that about wraps up this video. I'm now kind of in a bad mood, to be honest. Women really need more protection against these people who are desperate to force society to not expect consequences for sexual harassment. But I hope that I was at least able to educate people on what happened with Mangzero and this topic in general.